Hi, this is Matt Yetter with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Monday, October 30th, 2023. The address we're inspecting today is 2629 Southwest Davenport Lane, Portland, Oregon, 97201. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the backyard exterior cleanout. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras on the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, be noted some age sewer pipes made out of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and orchard may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspection must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made with cast iron ABS, 3034 or HDPE pipe, allow for bit fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. So we are in a 4-inch cast iron pipe on the back of the house. Now right off the bat, right from the get-go, older cast iron, 1950s cast iron piping in the northwest soil all day long, every day, should be considered like a deferred cost item. At some point this is going to wear and going to need updating or replacement. So just right off the bat, even if it passes inspection today, and I'm not sure if it's cast iron all the way down, we'll know here in just a second, but any cast iron piping in the house should be considered like a deferred cost even if it's working today. So here we go. We are running some water from the kitchen sink to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout the inspection. It looks like we get some good news. So there's just 3 feet of cast iron, and it looks like we go to some ABS plastic, so we have some modern piping, which is all good news. And then we're going to turn and we're going to drop off of the cliff here in just a second, and we're going to go back to cast iron for some reason. So there's a section of plastic piping. So we go cast iron, plastic, and then we go back to cast iron. So, and then it looks like, oh, there's a, there's just a small section of cast iron that you can see there, and then it's fitted with ABS plastic again. So I'm not sure why there's like a cast iron fitting. Alright, we're going to drop off the hill. We're not going to see too much right now because the water is going so fast down the hill, it's just splashing all over the place. Once we get to the lateral down at the bottom, we'll turn off the water, drain everything out. Look at the pipe one more time in reverse. We like this pitch, everything flying off the side of the hill. Everything moving really quickly through the pipe. And again, good news, so it looks like the vast majority has been updated or modernized with plastic piping. At 40 feet, we're going to transition. So this signifies a couple of things. This signifies transitioning pipe size, so we're going from a 4 or 5 inch pipe into a larger, probably 6 inch pipe. Signifies transitioning pipe materials. We're going from ABS plastic into 3034 plastic. And then lastly, we're transitioning into the branch off the city lateral piping. And even though we enter into branch piping off of the city lateral, technically all of this will be buyer owner's responsibility throughout the entire length, start to finish. And we're still flying through here pretty nicely. Here's kind of the first turn that we're taking. And it must be, and we're going to go back to cast iron. There's a little bit of a belly here at 47 feet. And then we pop out of it real quick. So a little bit of a rough connection there where it's just a little bit flat through that section. We'll turn off the water, drain everything out, and see how the piping reacts with the water off. If everything drains right down out of there, then you're feeling better about things. But you can see the issue is that when it goes a little bit flat and the camera head goes underwater for just a second, and unfortunately this is just right where we come out of the plastic piping. So as soon as we get into the old piping again, then we go a little flat, camera head goes underwater, and then you have some debris build up. You know, things just don't move as quickly through the pipe. when you have a little bit of a belly, a little bit of a sag in the line.
The repair was to fix the connection and then replace the rest of the cast iron to where the city takes ownership. So if this is all still cast iron, I wonder if they just didn't do that.
Camera lens got smeared. Hang on a second. Yeah, 50 feet. I wouldn't think we're even off the hill yet, or maybe getting to the bottom of the hill. So another good idea before closing is passing the video and the report on to the city, just to determine where the end of responsibility lies in this. It looks like at about 50 feet, the plastic piping has gone back to the original piping. And so it'd be nice to know if the owner is responsible of this in the event that it had an issue in the future, or if this is all city maintained stuff. I'm going to turn.
So seller shall have a licensed and bonded plumber replace the entire sewer line from just below the current sewer tab to the city property.
Okay. All right, so 60 feet, 59 feet is the city lateral. This is the end officially of buyer-owner responsibility. 58 feet away from the house. So there isn't very much of the cast iron in the end of this. But again, as a precaution, maybe inquiring with the city, just, you know, we have 10 feet of additional piping on the end of this line. Is that city maintained stuff? So getting as much information about this as possible would be great. I'm going to turn off the water and drain everything out of the pipe, and then look at the pipe one more time in reverse. I'm also going to pause the video while we wait for everything to drain out. Okay, we have drained out just about everything. There'll be some residual stuff coming through. There is a sharp 45-degree angle right there. Looks like we have even the city is notorious for using this concrete piping, which definitely has some aging and wear. But just getting contact with the city to determine where responsibility officially ends in this pipe. But I'm guessing that, yeah, there's even a little bit of root coming through the top there, and this is right before the lateral. So again, I'm assuming that this is city responsibility, but there's a really scraggly, ineffectual little root coming off the top of the pipe there at that joint, and that's always the weakest area in the pipe. So a little bit of a root coming out of there. And so, you know, again, at this point, just as a precaution, strictly as a precaution before closing, inquiring with the city to determine where responsibility ends in this pipe. And I'm assuming, because this has been, most of it's been replaced, the drain repair technicians replaced all of the stuff that would be considered owner responsibility. And again, we'll just want to, the recommendation will be to have a sewer scope performed every 2 to 3 years, keeping an eye on things. You can see as it goes a little bit slower, you have tendency for this buildup to kind of happen, you know, so you have a little bit flat here at the end. And then the area in question is right here, where we have a little bit of a belly, but it actually looks pretty good. So with the water off, so here we're flying down the hill with the water off. For the most part, everything drained through. But again, the only thing is that you have tendency for buildup to happen. Toilet paper, you wouldn't want to flushable wipes down the pipe or anything like that, because that's probably what this is some flushable wipes that just started to catch and build up. But at this point, for the most part, everything drained out. And so we'd recommend having a sewer scope every 2 to 3 years, keeping an eye on things, but I think the sewer pipe passes inspection at this point. And there, again, there's that sharp turn. So there's a couple of sharp turns. This is the one coming out right before the transition to the city. And then it's just a little bit flat there, but overall not too bad. If this was plastic piping, you could have that blown out with some pressurized water, but the fact that it's old concrete piping, you'll actually do more damage to the pipe trying to blast it out of there than just letting it sit and hopefully flow out of there at some point. So again, the sewer pipe passes inspection. I'm going to turn off the microphone now, and then we'll make a couple of recommendations in the report. But overall, it looks like it's good news. It looks like the pipe has all been nicely replaced, modernized. And everything seems to be, if it's a drain pipe, it is draining, so that's good. It's doing what we need it to do.